All right, so it is Sunday evening. Welcome to our team call. We are fired up. It has been a very exciting week. We have a brand new, groundbreaking, not just company-wide, but industry-wide product. Who is excited about the new BIA energy drink? Now, comment in the chats if you ordered some or if you're excited to try some, if you put it in your auto ship or you're getting some later down the road.
1 million orders.
Dom, every time BIA comes out, Dom's like, 1 million orders. Guys, if you don't know, if you're watching this recording or you're watching this first time and you somehow missed the BIA craze that's happened, we have brought a first ever to market. It's the first ever type of energy drink that's utilizing all raw minerals and nutrients and vitamins. There's nothing synthetic. It goes right in hand with all of the other Isogenics products. Aud and I got to sample one. They just gave us one, and I wish I had gotten 20,000 when I left Phoenix, but it was absolutely amazing. And what a solution. When you look at Isogenics, what another solution that we get to add to people's life. You look at maybe not everybody on this call drinks energy drinks. That's perfectly fine. I don't drink tons of energy drinks or anything like that. I never really have. But if I knew there was a healthy alternative where I was getting not only vitamins and minerals, but adaptogens that are found in the Ionic Supreme and the e-shots, it's an absolute game changer to deal with stress or natural energy. Now, one of the questions I want to address really quickly before we kind of get into it is, are these going to replace e-shots or does this replace Ionic Supreme? And the short answer is no. And here's why. We talk a lot about switching up your protein sources throughout the day, right? You want to have different types of meat, or maybe you want to have some plant-based proteins, and you just have different sourcings that help your body overall. It helps it absorb better, kind of keeps it adaptable and all of this. Well, adaptogens work the same way. So the adaptogens that are found in the Ionic Supreme, the e-shots, and the BIA are all different. So while there are adaptogens, they're different compounds. So they're going to respond to your body differently. So even if you've been using Ionic Supreme or e-shots for years, trust me, when I had my first BIA, I felt my whole body light up. It was amazing. I wanted to run a marathon. I probably should have. If you guys didn't see the guy broke the 2-hour marathon, I think I could have right after I drank a BIA. Okay.
Wow.
So with that, just to let everybody know, it doesn't replace e-shots. It doesn't replace Ionic Supreme. It's really just meant to, again, service as a lifestyle switch, maybe from some alternatives that you've been having. And I can't wait to hear y'all's reviews.
And it is cleanse day friendly. So when James brought it home, I did drink mine on a cleanse day. And I do have to say, I love how I feel after I'm done cleansing. But if you really know me, you would know I need a lot of encouragement during cleanse days, okay? And when I did drink the BIA, I will say I was totally satisfied for 3 hours, okay? That doesn't happen to me when I'm on my shake days. I literally think about food probably every 15 minutes when I'm cleansing. And so it was such an amazing gift. So I really believe in them. But we are really, really excited about where this team is. And we start out the majority of our Sunday calls saying, like, this has been an amazing week. And it really isn't hype. It really is a compounding effect of what's been going on this entire year with the leaders who are on this call. It has been phenomenal seeing breakthrough happen in people's lives, seeing new people join our organization, seeing new people step out of their comfort zone, seeing people who are the seasoned Freedom Living Team leaders get out of slumps and come into the newness and fullness of a new season. And so when we start out these calls this whole year, it really does feel like every week we're like, things are so exciting in this team and with Isogenics, but truly things really have shifted and things really have changed with adding Dr. Plant, who is bringing the most innovative products into the market. I mean, the BIA is so transformative. It's the most innovative product that's ever been brought to market. And we're just getting started. And so this past week, Lane and Chelsea opened up their home for an in-home overview. And I know there were like over 45 people at their home with the overview. And then there were people who were online, who were tuning in online. So like total, I feel like there were like 55 people there. And guys, It was, I think it was one of the most profound overviews we'd been to. And I think one of the reasons why it was so profound is that there were other leaders who are a part of Freedom Living Team who stepped up to present. Victoria Nicely, if you're on the call, you did an absolutely fantastic job sharing about the nutrition. You were so eloquent. You could tell that you had practiced it, that you were really, really, effectively communicating. Rachel Stevens, if you're on this line, you showed the compensation plan, and my jaw dropped open. And it shouldn't have dropped open because I know how amazing of a communicator you are. But you recently joined this team. You joined your sister-in-law, Joy, in July of this year. And you presented this compensation plan to where everybody in the room understood, and you gave hope to other people who just started their journey that they could be as effective of a presenter as you are. So really, you set such an amazing example. I was sitting next to Marbell, and she told me, she said, I believe that I can share the compensation plan now because I saw Rachel doing it. And so really, there's an amazing theme that's happening through Freedom Living Team where presenters are rising and people who are taking action, and they're showing and they're drawing the compensation plan out. They're hosting the overviews. They're getting on the Zoom calls. They might be doing one-on-one Zoom calls with people. We're seeing massive, massive growth that's coming from that. And so what we have to share with you tonight, and we're actually going to do the announcements at the end of the call, and James is going to share with you some really awesome things that are coming because he's on the field advisory board. Very few people know. I will share some exciting stuff tonight at the end. But we're going to share with you two main things. One thing is to help grow your communication skills. And the next thing that we're going to share with you and really dive into is how to grow your self-awareness and why that's really important in your network marketing business. So if you were to look at any sales reps, if you go to a car dealership or you go and you get on, if you watch Shark Tank and you watch these presenters come into Shark Tank, if you get on and you listen to, Chelsea Taylor or Taylor Smith present the packages to prospects over the phone, okay? The number one theme that you see that is most common for wildly successful people in sales is they have developed an amazing skill, which is communication. They have developed an incredible skill of communicating what it is that they want to convey to the people who are sitting in front of them or who are on the phone with them. And so you hear us all the time talking about present the compensation plan, write out the compensation plan. And what we want to share with you tonight is a tactical way, a very tangible way for you to grow in your communication skills. Because we know that when you can grow in those skills, you'll get more and more confident, more and more comfortable to where you can close deal after deal after deal. And if you were at the Progressive Workshop that took place in Knoxville, and those that tuned in online, Lane did an amazing job of teaching you and coaching you how to close the deal. So we have really laid out the groundwork to teach you how to communicate well, because we know that the people who are communicating the most are the people who are having the most success.
So I want you to write this down, and you've probably heard this before. He who holds the mic makes the money. Or if you want to say it differently, he who holds the marker makes the money. And really what that is insinuating, guys, and what that's kind of explaining is just what I talked about, is that those who are up and putting themselves in a place, in a position, in a posture of learning and forcing themselves to increase their interpersonal communicative skills, to whether it's educate a room, whether it's build value and leverage and build credibility in a room. Those who are up at the front, whether they're just getting started or they're seasoned and they've been doing this for years, that's you can count on it in a very large majority of them that before too long, if they're just getting started, give them some time, but they will statistically start making more than those who never get up and share their story, or never get up and present the vision of Isagenix specifically. We'll keep it here in network marketing. So what then is the difference between somebody who is, quote unquote, successful financially versus somebody who isn't? Well, in my experience, it's really come down to a willingness to learn. It's really come down to a willingness to step out of what we perceive to be our comfort zones and maybe elevate the way we communicate with other people. And so what we're going to talk about tonight, one of the very practical ways, comment in the chats if you would like to increase your ability to communicate with those in your life. If that is a desire of yours, that you would like to become a more effective, a more authentic, a more magnetic communicator, which I would assume all of you would be, and here's the bottom line. Anything that you do in life is going to require you to communicate with people in some form or fashion. Being a spouse, being a sibling, being a parent, being a coworker, being anything, it's going to require you to communicate. And so the thing that we're going to talk about tonight, guys, it's so pivotal. And this is something that actually Aud and I are we're taking on ourselves to even apply to a greater level as well. Because here's the thing. I was talking to somebody just a couple weeks ago, and nobody has arrived. No single human being has arrived at the level that they can truly go to.
Right.
The length, the breadth, the width that they can truly expand in this life. Guys, if you were watching on yesterday, for the first time in the history of the world, a man broke the 2-hour marathon. It never, ever has it been done before. And so many people, just like Roger Bannister years ago, said there's no way somebody's going to break that. There's no way somebody's going to be able to do that. And boom, he did it. He just showed us. I loved it. And for those of you who didn't see it, go back and watch the video. It was so amazing it showed me how much more capable all of us actually are. Mm-hmm. And maybe, just maybe, how much we are holding back in our everyday life, mm-hmm. with how much energy we're putting out, mm-hmm. maybe with how much activity we're putting into our Isagenix business because there's a lack of self-belief, or there's a lack of self-worth where we don't think we deserve something like this, so we kind of hold ourselves back. We have such a limitless limit of how much we can expand to. Mm-hmm. And I witnessed that this weekend.
Mm-hmm. And I think, when it comes to communication, and when it comes to how to grow your communication skills in Isagenix, communication is so much more than just talking, okay? It's so much more than just talking. I remember when I first got started in Isagenix, and my dad, he would teach me how to communicate better, because when I spoke, I was really, really loud, and I had a very high-pitched voice all of the time. Okay? It was all the time. Like, you see me get excited, and I get excited, but I've learned, and I'm still learning because I have not arrived. I am learning, continuously learning, how to have a very high energy and then to come back down and to talk more level, and then to have the pauses and to have the breaks in sentences. And it's interesting, if you've ever been to an overview and you hear Lane and Chelsea talk, and I've overheard people saying, wow, this is amazing. They're so great at speaking. Well, if you ever came and sat at the Daniel, which was our first loft, and you heard Lane and Chelsea come into the loft and they got up to present for the first time, they went very back and forth robotically, just like my dad and I did when we first got started, just like James and Allie did when they first got started, okay? And now you watch the progression of Lane and Chelsea. You see how when they talk back and forth to each other, there's pauses, there's breaks. They watch the tone and the inflections in their voices, and they're still growing. They're still learning. They haven't arrived either. But one of the ways that can effectively enlarge your influence while you're communicating is to be aware of what you're saying and how you're speaking. And so we're going to share with you now, I'm going to let James share with you one of the ways that you can actually learn how to do that.
So very, very simple. It's so incredibly simple, what I'm about to share with you. But I can guarantee you that if anybody were to apply what I'm about to say for the next 2 months, they would come back and they would have nothing but positive things to say and the positive experiences that they've had with other people. It's so incredibly simple. You guys want me to tell you what it is? Okay. Here's what I would suggest everybody doing. I would suggest taking 3 days of the week, and I would spend 20 to 30 minutes reading out loud. Okay, I'll say that again. You take 3 days minimum of the week, any days of the week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you name it, and spend 20 to 30 minutes reading out loud. Now, not a Dr. Seuss book, okay? Not something of a kindergarten level, but an actual something that has been thoughtfully written, that has been, very well pieced together. Now that sounds very trivial, but it's so much different. Who agrees that it's different to read in your mind versus reading out loud, right? Yeah. It's so different. Even the way we comprehend things is different when you read it out loud. But what's even more important is that during that time, instead of thinking about what you need to say, you can just read what's on the page and you can notice how you're communicating. You can notice the pauses in between your sentences, or to make a point a little bit stronger. And what you'll find, you guys, if you commit to truly doing and practicing this, you will notice that your ability and the way that you communicate with people in the real world will change. You will notice that the clarity in your mind when you're speaking and communicating to people is going to become more clear and more concise, because you're used to hearing yourself speak out loud. You're obviously, it's not going to be a pressure sensitive thing because you're going to be reading by yourself. And so it's a very small thing, but look all around you. Look all in any realm, in any sphere of influence, in any industry. The people who are making the biggest impact
Maxwell.
Are those who can communicate with their words. Mm-hmm. And so many people, they want to wait till they get on the big stage at Isagenix. They want to wait till they get the big stage of celebration to then practice communicating. No. You can practice communicating now. You can practice the way that you are using your words and the way you pause. And like Audrye was saying, when she started at 22, I remember hearing her. It was always loud all the time. It was super up. And it was up here. It was a level 10 the whole time.
It was authentic to me at the time.
Some of you know what I'm talking about. But how powerful is it when you slow down?
Yep.
And you bring people in. You guys, this doesn't just apply to when you're talking about overviews or comp plan training. This has to deal with everything, bringing in people to your world and to who you are. Mm-hmm. That's what this is all about. Mm-hmm. So I know that this first step sounds so trivial.
Yeah.
But I would love it if all of us committed to doing this practice and then reporting back on these Sunday calls of how we have seen our communication change. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Does anybody have any questions about that? Does that excite anybody to try to implement? Yeah. I know we got Ty, we got Kay, we got people that are Lindsay starting this week. I'm excited, and I would love to do it together, because if you want your organization to grow, here's the bottom line. It's just going to be a matter of how well you can present, and then how well you can teach others to present as well.
Right. So that's the first thing that we wanted to talk about, was the communication, nailing that communication. The second thing that we want to talk to you about is self-awareness. Because when you can become aware of your strengths in your Isagenix business, the amazing things that you're doing, and when you can become aware of maybe some of the places that you've fallen a little bit short, it allows for more growth to take place in your life. I had an amazing conversation with Taylor Smith, and we were talking about self-awareness. And she was just revealing to me so many amazing things that are going on in her life right now, simply because she's taken the time to become more self-aware. And it's one of those things that you think like, okay, well, what does this have to do with network marketing? Well, it has everything to do with your Isagenix business. It has everything to do with understanding what it is that you're doing that's working, and where are the areas that you might be falling short, so that you can say, wow, I'm going to pinpoint that so I can become better every single day, so that I can become better and stronger and walk in more love and walk in more grace and walk in more power and more authority every day. So this second tool that we're going to share with you that we are going to even do every single day as well is this is something that is specifically for you. Kathy Waldrop, Jennifer Higgins, this isn't something that you're going to, post on Freedom Living Team and say, hey, here are all my thoughts. This isn't like your diaries going out there. This is simply for you to be able to have, to be able to reflect on, and to be able to look at and see, okay, this is just something that you and God are going to know. Nobody else is going to know it. And what that is it's taking out a piece of paper. I don't care. You can throw this piece of paper out the very next day, okay? Tomorrow, after your day is done, you're going to get out a piece of paper and you're going to write out it doesn't have to be all. It can be 3 to 5 really amazing things that you did tomorrow or you did today. Let's say you did it today, okay? So you start tonight. You write out 3 to 5 things that you did really, really well.
And that you're proud of.
And that you're really proud of. Like, I did a Zoom call right before this at 8 o'clock, and I communicated so well to these 5 women who were on this call. And I would write that down because I'm really proud of myself. I'm really proud of the fact that I worked really hard today in manual labor and I didn't poop out. I would write that down, okay? What are some other areas that I did that were really, really effective? I wrote out some things for some of the team members on our team that I'm really proud of. I'm really proud of how I'm communicating on this Zoom call tonight. I'm doing a really great job. These are just some of the things I would write out. Now, the next thing that I'm going to write out are maybe some areas that maybe fell a little bit short in. What do I mean by that? Well, a new team member texted me and said, I can't get on the Zoom call tonight because I have X, Y, and Z. And my brain went to, well, she just doesn't really care about her business. And maybe I didn't speak so life-giving out. My words weren't really life-giving over her. Maybe I would write that down and I would say, you know what? I fell a little bit short and I didn't grab my tongue fast enough. Maybe I did, I was doing a training call with somebody and I got a little short with them because I didn't appreciate something that they said. So maybe I wrote down, I didn't walk in as much love and as grace as I could have in my Isogenics business and with this person today. Maybe somebody came to me and they shared something with me and I judged them. And I would write down, oh, I judged them. And this is something that I didn't really do well. And those are things that I would write down. Again, not to beat myself up over it, but to write it down so that the very next day I could be aware of the areas that I fell short so I can actually walk in more stature, if that's the right word. Mm-hmm. I could walk in more grace, I could walk in more authority, and I could walk in more love. Because here's the thing, if we're sitting so high on our high horse, and all we're doing is focusing on everything great that we're doing, and we're not being introspective enough to be humble enough to say, hey, these are some areas that I fell short in, then we're not going to grow to the capacity that we need to grow in order to take our life and our business to the next level. So if I can get really honest and really real with myself and take radical responsibility for the areas that I knocked out of the park, and also maybe the areas that I fell a little bit short in, I can look at those areas and I can say, praise God, I have tomorrow. So I can make up and I can be aware of these areas. So tomorrow when I'm in that conversation with somebody, I'm not going to look at them and I'm not going to judge them in that way. I'm going to understand more so where they're coming from than doing the judgment.
But what I also love about this exercise is that, Ty, you brought up a great point. And who could agree? Ty said, hey, I'm really hard on myself. I'm loving this, Aud. I'm really hard on myself. Comment in the chats if you would agree that you could be a little bit hard on yourself as well. Comment in the chats. So this exercise, you guys, it's twofold, okay? Because for me, sometimes I can have a hard time saying things that I'm proud about of myself during the day. And that might sound weird, but I would imagine that some people on this call could agree of saying, well, I enrolled a value pack, but geez, I could have gotten 2 or 3, probably could have followed up with more, I did this, but I could have done that. And you kind of always just shortchange yourself, right? So this exercise is not just about, highlighting, your, shortcomings and saying where you can become better. It's also exercising, being proud of yourself and proud of your work, because kid nobody, that's equally, if not more important than realizing where you could do better. Now, on that, there are some people that just want to focus on the good. Everything's great. Everything's great. Everything's great. Hey, well, you spent like an hour scrolling on social media today and you said you were going to make a post and you never did. That's okay. I'll get it tomorrow. I was connecting with people, like whatever. So we have both camps. What this is designed to do is it's designed to give you a clear scope, because I believe that when you have a clear, accurate, balanced picture of where you are at right now, there is nobody else to blame. And it's full responsibility, whether it's you're loving where you're at in your Isagenix business in your life, or it's really uncomfortable to take responsibility and saying, you know what, I'm not where I want to be in my Isagenix because of me. Because I've spent the past week connecting on social media when really I look at my screen time on my iPhone and it was 7 hours of social media time. Like, guys, when we can bring that level, not of shame, not of content, not of any of that, but of clarity, of accountability, of saying, listen, holding up the mirror and saying, no, you haven't been building your business. You can lie to everybody else around you, but you can't lie to yourself. You can't, the results won't lie ever. And so this isn't meant to say, I hope everybody, you're either going to feel really good about yourself or really bad. Yeah, it's just meant to bring balance, to say, okay, here's the reality of it. I had 5 great things over here that I'm really proud of. I also had 5 areas that I can easily improve on tomorrow. Whether I was too insecure in a conversation, whether I was too short and bitey, and I was honestly taking the frustration that I have about my own business out on a prospect or on a new team member. It's keeping yourself in accountability, because you guys, I believe that that's one of the biggest things that we can absolutely do when it comes to having success in our business. So recapping really quickly, and then I want to get into a couple of things before the end of the call is, and like Taylor was saying, it can also absolutely make you aware of some patterns. And it can allow you where you maybe self-sabotage or where you just kind of are continuing in this cycle. So focusing on our communication, reading out loud 3 times a week for 20 to 30 minutes, and focusing on your voice, focusing on your inflections, your projection, your pauses, your pace, all of that, okay? Exercising that and committing to exercising it, because this is for nobody else but yourself. Nobody else but yourself. And then the second thing is taking a look inward and having that accountability that you don't need to post it on Freedom Living Team. You don't even need to share it with your spouse. It's for you and your soul. And for you to say, how did James do today? How did we do? And it's not meant to bring up any shame or guilt or anything. So do you guys feel good about that? Does that excite you guys, to give you some framework, to encourage you to keep spurring us on, of showing us how much we can grow? Okay, now we're going to get into some exciting things. So I have 2 things that I want to talk about. One, I'm gonna share this with you guys, and some of you guys have already seen it, but I want to share with you guys something that I believe is going to take all of our businesses to a new level, meaning it's going to increase our conversations. It's going to increase the interactions and experiences you have while going about with these Isagenix products. Just like the BIA is, you can take it on the go. This is a product that's coming out very soon that I'm going to show you, and I'm going to give my experience with it so far. So this is a product that I think some of you have seen. It's a Vortex Cup, and I'll turn it on here. I'll take this off and I'll show you guys. So you hit this little button right here, and it blends the water, and then you pour your shake right into it. It's a tornado sound. Okay, so you pour your powder right into it. If I had some hydrate, I'd pour it in there. Or if I had a shake, I'd pour it in there. And then you put it on and you shake it. You guys, I've been using this product since April, and I know Lane and Chelsea have been using one for much longer, but I've been there he is nodding his head. Yes, I know. I've been using this since about April. And you guys, I take this out and about. I've been drinking shakes for 6 or 7 years, and I take this out and about, and I cannot tell you how many people have come up to me and started a conversation. So while we're all about teaching connecting, while we're all about teaching how to, relate to people and start genuine connections, this is something that has helped me create so many natural connections in the airport, on the plane, walking around at the gym. I have so many people that have walked up to me at the gym, just passing by when I have it on, and they go, "Whoa, dude, that's really cool." So is it availability to order? I want all of you guys to put November 5th. I want you to get out your phone, write it down, November 5th. November 5th. The reason I'm telling you guys is because there is going to be a very limited amount
like
of these.
like very, very limited.
It's a seasonal product. There's not that many. And so it will be first come, first serve. Mm-hmm. And I've seen firsthand the power of it. It's amazing for traveling. You don't have to sit there and like, shake the bottle. It blends it up. It's really phenomenal. It's a USB charge. So you just plug this into the wall and it charges in like 30 minutes and you charge it like once a month. So this is going to be an amazing, amazing product. This is what Caitlin just won. I know we're a couple minutes over. This is what Caitlin just won. So Caitlin, you'll be receiving this. Put November 5th in your calendar and let your teams know too, guys, because this is something that can help everybody start having more natural conversations with people. Okay. So that's the first thing. Did you want to say anything?
Nope.
And then the second thing, I will give, why make it limited? Megan, great question. So we're actually working on having them bring that into a permanent line. So like, would you guys get excited if this came like in all of the packs or something like that? Like if you got a value pack and you got a little blender like this and your new customer could see something really cool. Yeah, I agree. So the Fab is talking to them about bringing this in permanently because everybody loves it. But we're making things work there. But the first order is very, very limited. So put it on your calendar and you can take care of that yourself. But the second thing is we at Isagenix, here's the exciting thing. We're constantly striving to make things better. We're refining products that we already have. We're coming out with products that we've never had before. And so this is, I need to have all of your agreement that you're not going to go blast this all over social media because this isn't public knowledge yet. Okay. Do we have everybody's agreement? I need everybody. Okay. Everybody agreement. So we are coming out with a new redefined, enhanced, amped hydrate line that get this, has 0 to 1 gram of sugar. Okay? Now, I know everybody's freaking out right now. Keep it on the DL. I have all of your word. Keep it on the DL because it's not out yet and nobody else knows. I want to share it with you guys so you can get excited, so you can start thinking about conversations that maybe you want to be having with moms that are looking for, electrolyte packed drinks or athletes that are looking for this. It can be, stirring in your head. Don't post on social media yet. Don't make any noise, but just so you can know, Isagenix is they're reformulating. They're enhancing all of the products we already know and love to make them even better. And I am freaking out about it because it's so exciting.
But guys, let me just tell you, they're bringing a flavor. Let me just tell you, they're bringing a flavor.
We can't tell them the flavor. We can't tell them.
Why?
Okay.
Can I please?
You guys have to promise me you're not going to tell anybody.
Okay, listen.
Listen. I'm getting kind of nervous. You guys cannot share this.
I'm going to tell you right now. James brought this flavor home, and I honestly was beside myself because it tasted like a ring pop, okay? They came out with blue raspberry that is actually the most amazing flavor I have ever tasted in my entire life. Like it is
unbelievable.
It's unbelievable that it's 0 sugar because it tastes absolutely amazing. So when it does come out,
that
get the blue raspberry
100% here
because it's so good. Okay, then finally, the last thing that I want to say is, you guys, NYKO New Year kickoff is just around the corner. We got our Scottsdale Summit, which is over halfway done, where we're going to be taking 6 of the top point earners to an amazing Andaz Resort and Spa right after NYKO. But guys, let me just tell you, NYKO is a game-changing event. It's my favorite event that Isagenix puts on. It is worth investing in to get yourself there. You get to be a part of the most innovative product launches. You get to be face-to-face with the team. You get to have side conversations with people like Lindsay Francis and Kathleen Ashlock and Kathy Waldrop and Dom and Ty in the midst of it all. That will change your life, will bring about relationships. You'll be a part of listening to the CEO, the CFO, Jim and Kathy Coover, Dr. Plant up on the stage, giving you the tools, and you can't transfer the belief. You can hear people day in and day out talk about how events change their business. but you can't, we could talk blue in our face, but it still we wouldn't be able to give you everything that you would get by being there in person. If you have not bought your ticket, buy your New Year kickoff ticket. Get yourself out there. Be a part of the team. I love going to New Year kickoff. Yes, because you leave there with a fire in your belly, but also Danielle Roback says it the best. She is an original leader from Freedom Living Team. She is one of the most successful on this team. She has gotten to every single event for the last 6 years. And she says that every event she gets to, she just pictures this clicker and it just clicks to the right every time she goes. And every time it clicks to the right, something sets in a little bit deeper. And what God does inside of her heart, which is aligned in her business, it takes herself, her life to the next level. It takes her relationships to the next level. And it just blesses every part of that. So get your New Year kickoff ticket. And don't just get your New Year kickoff ticket, but be on a mission to bring somebody there with you. Be on a mission to link arms and to say, you've got to come. It's going to be an amazing time, and we want to represent. So get your tickets in your back office. I'm sorry we went 7 minutes over today, you guys.
Hope you guys got excited about us spilling the beans. Trusting all of you, keeping it tight, and you guys will be in the know. But the first half of this call, guys, is crucial. Communication, reading out loud, taking that inventory, seeing where you're at, and knowing that the future with Isagenix, that the future with Freedom Living Team is so bright. Commit to the systems, commit to growing yourself, and lean into the process. The future is amazing. We love you guys. Have an amazing rest of your night. Have an amazing week.
Jinx, you owe me a Bia.
Oh, see you guys on the call next week.
Cheesy.
Love you guys.
Bye.